So let's
True.
jump into this
True.
topic. Tesla announced some pretty big price changes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
something between 6 and 20%, depending on the model.
6 and 20%. That's kind of crazy. Not counting the 7,500 from the US government on the
That's
cars
correct.
at the rebate. So there's quite a big
Yeah,
reduction. Wow.
yeah. I mean, the Model Y got the biggest hit, but I mean, at least all my friends are looking at the 3. So
Hmm.
there's a huge interest in the 3s right now.
Yeah, we've got a thread on TMC's forums that's pretty hot with a lot of comments going on. Some folks happy about the news, a lot of folks not so happy about the news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting because yeah, from several angles, because you sort of have to wonder what's the real goal, what's the real reasoning, and you can come up with plenty of theses and arguments about why it is what it is. But certainly, people that just bought feel kind of burned, and
just a touch.
people that are interested are ready to buy. And we already saw what happened in China, with the price cuts there, and you saw these, video of huge crowds there, and it's hard to distinguish between, okay, which are the people that are protesting and upset that they feel like they overpaid, and which are the people like, oh, I want a good deal and I'm ready to buy
All
another
right.
car, right?
Yeah, there's definitely. I think that it's fair to say if you were on the fence or interested in getting a Tesla, now's a pretty good time to buy,
Well,
because they've added a bunch of the cars. They're always improving. There's always new things coming in the cars. They're always making them better in some way, so between
true.
software and hardware adjustments. And then on top of that, they now have a pretty significant price savings, which also enables several of the models to now get you the 7,500 tax credit, which you couldn't get before. So yeah, I feel like it's
Well,
a good time to buy if you're interested.
there's another twist to that, and here's another twist, and this is one I'm personally interested in. Is we're shopping for a used 3, and right now the prices of the used Teslas overall are just imploding. I mean, they are just all over the map right now while all the dust settles. And so I'm kind of sitting back and watching. But for the first time, I saw a Model 3 with relatively low miles going for 26K.
Hmm.
Um, I could expect to see a higher mileage, maybe 80, 90,000 miles on a Model 3 going mid 20s in the next month or two. Um, that puts it well within the reach of a lot of folks that would like an EV, especially a Tesla, but couldn't afford the new one.
Yeah, the funny thing about it feels like trying to time the market the way Tesla seems so unpredictable about what they're going to do with the pricing. My car just went over the 4-year mark. I got it in December of 2018. And so, my warranty isn't there anymore. And there are some things that I would like, just minor things, but like, the newer cameras, I'd like, probably the newer, entertainment computer.
I mean, especially when they're also changing and improving the cars, right? So, like, for example, just throwing out there for those that hadn't heard, the Tesla Model S Plaids now supposedly they're advertising that they have better calipers on them for the brakes, right? Brakes have been a big complaint, so now they literally just dropped the price by like $15,000 or something like that, and they also are improving the caliper. Sorry, I take it back. They technically dropped it by $21,000 as the Model S Plaid between like a week ago and now. It is $21,000 cheaper, and it also looks like it's going to have better caliper brakes. So, like as somebody that doesn't have that, and I paid more for the
And
car, like yeah, that kind of
and,
stings.
and you can get a round wheel.
You know what I mean? But it's a thing, right? Like I don't know. It's a car. Cars over time lose value. That's just a known thing, unless it's a classic antique, type thing, which is not normal people cars. So if you're planning on keeping the car, if you're not selling the car, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect you in the grand scheme of things. Try not to be too upset by it. But I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, yeah, we all get burned sometimes. I think there's a lot of happy people that are going to be able to buy Teslas. And now, as far as the stock price goes, that's gonna, who knows how this is gonna impact that. Um, but yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about demand. Like I said, there are a couple theses here. Like, okay, this is a great offensive move to dominate the market, or this is a reactive defensive move because demand has been suppressed because
Right.
of
Demand's flat or falling. Yeah.
either because people that are going to get the cars have them, or people don't like Tesla anymore because of Elon's antics on Twitter, or which is it really? That's a good
Could
question.
be both.
I've definitely seen people that are like, I don't like this car anymore because I believed in the vision of the company, and the guy who represents the company I don't like anymore.
So yeah. So anyway, so price cuts. Pros, cons. What are you guys thinking? Are you overall happy about the news? You think it's a good thing, bad thing? What do you think Tesla could have done this better? Like, do you feel like they kind of,
I think they could have done it better. I think they could have done a lot better.
okay.
From
How
the
would you want
PR
them?
optics, from the PR optics. They
Okay.
had this huge push. Please buy our car by December 31st. We'll give you this rebate.
Hmm.
Now, I'm willing to bet they already had in the back of their heads they were going to do this price cut. That's not
For
something
sure.
you just kind of pull out of the air a day before it's executed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking they had that already in the works, and in a way, I kind of feel like people in December were sandbagged, because they had all the inventory they were trying to clear out.
Sure.
Well, and I mean, what was the real reason? It's again, it comes down to
Stock price.
goofy stuff like stock price, right? They had certain goals for the year, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
they wanted to incentivize people to buy those cars before the end of the year, and so that they could deliver those cars by the end of the year. And they still fell short, even though they
Not by much. I
not by
mean,
much, and they moved an amazing number of
Mhm.
cars.
they absolutely did.
But I'm sure missing that mark negatively affected the stock price because that's what it tends to be. It's reactions to the expectation, and then all the Twitter stuff
But I mean,
didn't help either, and the
they
overall
could go
economy.
back. I mean, they could go back to the people that bought their cars, let's say the last 2 weeks of December or 3 weeks, whatever the big push was, and say, "Yeah, we apologize. We handled it badly. Here's a year's subscription to FSD."
Yeah, I was gonna say have
Throw them a
FSD for
bone,
free.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it
I
have
won't
mean,
cost
FSD
them
for free.
nothing either, right?
I mean, that
Right.
literally doesn't cost them anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Throw them a bone.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's fair.
and you have
Yeah.
to wonder, how long will like say one will they become supply constrained again? Is or with this level of pricing, like how soon are they? They're still trying to get Germany up to where they want it, and there are slowdowns and Shanghai because of COVID.
Right.
So how long are they
Well,
going to have excess of supply?
right. Well, back to your question, Lewis. For one, I am happy they did this because it drives down the price of the used Teslas, of which I have a
And you're
high
looking
interest
to
in.
buy. Yeah.
I have a very vested interest in this. I'll be clear about it.
Sure.
Right, and overall, I think it. I mean, you want the price to come down, and I don't care that much about the stock price. Yeah, I want the price to come down. I wouldn't mind them if they continue to dominate the market because I think they move the technology more than any other company.